Jedi Joey, welcome back to another video. Last night, the finale for The Penguin dropped, and we have to talk about this finale. It was titled Great Things and Little Things, I believe. And honestly, guys, this episode was incredible. We have so much to talk about in this episode. I have notes to divulge with you guys. The first thing we got to talk about before we get into the overall details of the episode, so, we followed up the cliffhanger. Gotham was a wreck. Crown Point got destroyed by Sophia. So much happened. And this episode picks up the pieces right where we left off. We start this episode with Frances, Oz's mom. We get a flashback of her basically telling Rex, Oz's mentor long ago, to kill her son because of what he did to his brothers. And this scene was truly, it was heartbreaking. It was incredible to see that they went to this level. It just is incredible. I mean, I heard from sources that this finale was going to be incredible, that it hits, but you guys have no idea how hard it hits. Episode 7 was good. Penguin episode 8 is better than this episode, and every episode in the series. I mean, it starts by unraveling this heartbreaking truths about Frances trusting Rex to want to kill her son after what he did to his brothers, and this finale just cooks. It's an hour and 8 minutes, and you don't feel it. It just moves, and we go deeper into the episode. Oz becomes more unhinged, especially once Mommy Dearest has truly become a vegetable and is gone, which is one of the highlights of this episode. This episode is gone to completely insane. But one thing I loved about this episode was how Vic's trust of Penguin, even towards the end, and similar to most villains, Penguin needed to kill Vic because of how similar to John Kreese in Cobra Kai, it was his weakness. And Vic mistook Oz's patience for weakness. And this was one of the most heartbreaking moments. This is the thing that everyone is talking about this episode, which we'll jump back and forth to, is Oz ultimately not only kills Vic, but does it in such a heartbreaking way. After Oz wins, after Sophia goes to Arkham, which we'll touch on later in this review, it's just incredible. It's heartbreaking. You just can't believe what this show has done. The writing, the acting. First, we have to applaud Christina Milioti. Has an amazing performance in this episode. What she does here, where she ends up at the end of Arkham, it's just amazing. And then Colin Farrell cements himself as the best version of the Penguin in this episode. And we'll be doing a ranking of all Penguin actors later today, just so you know. But this whole thing is just incredible. It just is. This show is what so many other shows should be. This show is great character writing. It doesn't have to have big action set pieces all the time. It doesn't have to do this, bomb this, do this. No, it just great female character writing, great lead male writing. Everyone in this show is brilliant, and it's used to great perfection. And we will be addressing the teases of what will happen in Batman Part 2 later in this review. But what I want to talk to you guys about mostly is the story. Things are heartbreaking when Oz is strapped to the chair and dealing with Sophia, and Sophia's, and we have to get to the moment where Oz has to rush after this insane shootout between Sophia and Penguin, which was epic. We get to the moment where he has to take her to the hospital, and when he puts Sophia in Arkham, and literally Oz is playing every angle here, going and meeting with the corrupt officials, meeting with the councilmen, and he's getting power by talking to different politicians. And they really build out that relationship. I like the relationship between him and the councilman. I like how he's trying to help the councilman get more power by putting the hangman behind bars. And even though we know Sophia isn't really the hangman, the narrative of the show wants us to think Oz is the good guy, but Oz is the manipulative one. This is his show, and you want to show him throughout the show. We see throughout every episode how ruthless he has truly become, and we're going to talk about that more in this episode. So as we go through this episode, like I said, big action set piece, things starts building. Oz, does this brilliant move where Sophia basically tells all Oz's old associates from the last episode that they were picked up from Oz's business being shut down, and she tells them, hey, whoever brings me Oz, I want to leave this place. I want to leave Gotham. I have no legacy here anymore. I'm a Gigante and now not a Falcone. And so she gives them all a plan. And it's actually Link and Zal and everyone. They choose, they say, hey, we'll bring him to you. And, well, she gets a call that they get Oz after we think that there's a trick going on. What shows do with twists and amazing situations. You get to see, basically, Vic picks up a call from Link saying, hey, we're here at the courthouse. And he picks him up. And we make it think that Oz is being betrayed. But then when Sophia, after she burns down the Falcone house and burns all the clothes, the watch, and everything, we see this scene where she thinks she wins. And Penguin and all his associates open fire on Sophia and her goons. And then we get Sophia, and she goes to... Oz takes her to a place where we think that Oz is going to kill her. But no, Sophia is so important to the story, and even coming into the Batman 2, which we'll be talking about later in this review, that we see Oz sets her up, and the cops show up and arrest her and take her back to Arkham. And later we see a scene of her in Arkham. And when she's in Arkham, Julian brings in her mail, and we see a letter. And in the letter, it says, it's from your half-sister. It's from your half-sister, Selina Kyle. So if you don't know, in the Batman, we're revealed that Carmine Falcone is basically Selina Kyle's stepfather. And so the fact that we're connected in this way is so brilliant. And I think in the Batman 2, and I'll do this video later today as well, they develop this relationship. These two are gonna... I think Selina will break Sophia out of prison, and they're gonna go after Oz. And as this thing just builds and builds, and then we get to this heartbreaking scene, after all is said and done, after Oz finds out his mother's a vegetable, Oz goes and is heartbroken. We get amazing acting from Colin Farrell. We see Oz and Vic sitting on some old gravesite, praying back to the old first episode, and they're drinking what's left of the whiskey because they were going to celebrate Oz's victory over Sophia. And Oz is, and then you see Vic is kind of telling Oz, look, hey, this is you're family to me. This is great. And Oz takes it as, look, kid, I can't take you with me this time. And he chokes out Vic in front of him. Just, oh my god. I've never been more shocked on television. And look, I knew Vic would die in this show. I knew Oz was going to kill him. Like, Colin Farrell said in interviews that by the time we get to the finale, we're going to hate Oz. And he's going to do something that's so unspeakable, so evil. And I knew the bar was set high. I mean, he burned 2 criminals together. He's killed Salvatore Maroni. There's so much that has happened. But what is brilliant about this show is how it works on these angles. And it just builds, this chills. I mean, what happens to Vic in this episode is just mind-blowing. And it's so heartbreaking. And what he does. But now we hate Oz. This was his show. I love Colin Farrell as an actor. I love good villains. But I want Batman to kick the shit out of Oz after what he did. And then we get the last shot of this episode, guys, which builds the hype. Oz is dancing around, got his top hat, and he's kind of seeing an hallucination of his mom the vegetable. Hey Ma, I got what I want. I got it, everything's good. Come dance with me, Ma. And it just goes brilliantly. And then you see Oz says, I'm untouchable, the kingpin of Gotham, truly, top hat, fancy clothes, everything you expected him to be. And by the end of it, Oz is literally goes in, and Oz truly looks out at the window, and you see the camera pans out, and you see the bat symbol. Because remember what Robert Pattinson's monologue in the Batman said. It's not a signal. It's not a signal. It's a warning. So the councilman, he gets the councilman tricked. His plan comes to fruition. Sophia's in Arkham. He gets everything he wants. Now this is just amazing. We set up the runway. The Batman is coming for Oz. It's going to be amazing. It's brilliant. I love this episode. It's a 10 out of 10. This series is a 10 out of 10. It deserves everyone's eyes all on full display here. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. And before we end this video, there's a couple more things I want to discuss with you guys, which is we heard Colin Farrell say and Christina Milioti say, which we'll cover in another video, but I want to dive into it a little bit in this video, which is we know that Colin Farrell has said Oz will be in 5 to 6 scenes of the Batman 2, and we will also get he's also going to be in the third movie. And I actually believe Oz could be the main villain for the third movie, and it might have we might have the Court of Owls still and all these other things. But based on what they set up, you're going to end the crime saga with the kingpin of crime of Gotham. And I think that's brilliant. So anyway, guys, what do you think about this? Are you guys excited are you more excited for the Batman 2? Or what are you feeling? Did you like the Penguin finale? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Woo!